You're listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. What they see is what they'll be. I'm Mel Tiller, your host. I'm thrilled to be with you. And today we have as our special guest Miss Rae Canady, and she wants to be the Las Vegas Municipal Court judge. And she's running for District 5. Rae, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Taylor, for the opportunity to be here to talk about my candidacy. I'm so excited.
I'm very excited to have you. Why do you want to be a Las Vegas Municipal Court judge?
So I love to have a little slogan where I say a better way with Rae.
I like that.
My campaign motto is better is on the horizon, because Las Vegas residents deserve better and they can have better. I think that municipal courts should be community courts. They belong to the community, and we've gotten away from that to the point where not only do people feel unwelcome when they are required to enter into a courthouse, but we put additional obstacles in the way for people to get in and out of that system. Once they get in it, we have a tendency to create a cobweb where they're sort of stuck. And I know that we can do better. And so that is why I'm running. I actually used to work as a court administrator with Las Vegas Municipal Court. And so I had the opportunity to kind of look behind the curtain, Mel, and I didn't like the law. I didn't like we're being treated, especially people who look like me. I did not like the fact that there was not a culture amongst the judges of truly wanting to help people. And when you ask most judges, why did you run? They always say, because I want to help people. But when they get up there, something happens, I think, and certainly not all judges, but for a lot of judges, something happens where that gets lost. And even when they are presented with solutions for how they can help people, those solutions are rejected. And so I am running so that I can bring back solutions to the bench and bring the court back to the community.
Okay, so not everybody knows exactly what municipal court does. So please explain to us what happens in municipal court.
That is a great question, Mel. So municipal courts are the lowest level of courts that we have. So here in Las Vegas, we have municipal court. The next level is justice court, and the next level is district court. And then, of course, if you have a case where you need it to be reviewed, you can go to Court of Appeals or Supreme Court. But you start at municipal court for anybody who has a traffic offense within the city limits or commits a misdemeanor offense within the city limits. And so we have tons of people in Las Vegas who are from different areas around the country. Where I'm from in the Midwest, in Milwaukee, the municipal courts there only dealt with traffic. And so you might relocate here and not know exactly what a municipal court does, because municipal courts do different things across the country. So here in Las Vegas, it is traffic offenses and it is criminal misdemeanor offenses. You will have to go to municipal court. And I say it as the community court because the vast majority of us in our lives, even those of us who are the most law-abiding, may get a traffic citation at some point. And so when you interact with the municipal court, whether it is in person, online, or on the phone, that interaction should be a friendly interaction where you can get your business transacted. And if you need help, you can get the help you need. That is what I mean when I talk about returning it to the community and removing obstacles from people's way.
Most people in the African American community believe that the justice system as a whole, municipal court system in particular, court systems in particular, are biased against African Americans. What do you have to say about that?
Well, so here's the thing. I don't even call it the criminal justice system. I call it the criminal legal system, because I think we have gotten away from justice for people. And I would hope to bring that back to the bench. One of the ways in which you do that is that you look at the individual for who they are, not as another cog in the system. And you really listen to their story to make a good decision about what's going to help them best and make sure that they don't return. I do believe that there are biases in the system. There are systemic biases, and then there are individual biases amongst judges. We have a lot of people in this country who say, oh, I'm not biased. No, no, no. And that is the first mistake. because everybody has biases. So if you look at sort of the neurobiological and physiological research behind biases, our brain automatically places people and things into categories because of the amount of stimulus that we get bombarded with every day. So your brain automatically does that for you. And a bias is not necessarily a bad thing. It could be something for or against. If you like pepperoni over sausage, you have a bias, and that is okay. Where we get into trouble is when people deny that they have biases, and then what happens is their behavior is reflective of that bias. So when you are presented with someone in front of you, and a thought comes into your brain about who you think that person is or how you think that person will behave, and you know nothing about them, that's a bias. And as long as you say, whoa, wait a second, why am I thinking like that? Why am I automatically attaching some thought to this person who I don't know anything about? If you do that, you're okay, because you're going to be able then to work through that bias. It's when you don't do that, that you let your behavior affect other people's lives. And that's determined by the biases that you have. So I will agree with you 100%. It is the criminal legal system, because very often people do not get the justice that they deserve. And there are absolutely both systemic and individual biases that take place every day.
How do members of our listening audience get in touch with you?
That's a great question. So I have a wonderful team of volunteers who are working with me, but the truth is that I do not come from a rich family. I don't come from a political family. And so I'm going to need as much help as I can get. If you are a person who likes to walk or talk, I need you. If you are a person who likes to event plan and fundraise, I need you. So I have, my website is now up. It is canadyforcourt.com. I also have my email, which is canadyforcourt@gmail.com. You can go to the website and take a look. It tells you a little bit more about who I am and why I'm running. It also has an opportunity for you to sign up to volunteer. I cannot accept donations until January 12th, which is when the declaration period ends. But please sign up. You can email, you can go to the website. I have my first campaign team meeting on December 3rd from 2 to 4 p.m. I can share information about that if people want to reach out. And my phone number is 702 Rae, which is 723. And I believe it's 0580. Like, I just got my number changed. So I think it's 0580. That number is on the website as well.
That's wonderful. So exactly what do you do right now, Rae?
Great question. You have good questions, Mel. I like it. So right now I work at Legal Aid Center. I am an attorney. I've been an attorney for almost 20 years. I represent kids in court, and it's a return to my social work days. I was a social worker before I became an attorney. I actually got my law degree going to school on nights and weekends. Wow. Because I really wanted to work in the community to take that experience to be the best lawyer that I could be. And so I represent kids now, but I have previously been a public defender for 8 years, fighting against the system. I understand sort of what obstacles get put in people's way, systemic obstacles, and then individual obstacles, intentional obstacles. Yeah. But I absolutely love what I do. As I mentioned, I also was a court administrator at Las Vegas Municipal Court. So that's what I do currently. But I am hoping that come June 11th, which is the primary day, that I am your next Las Vegas Municipal Court judge. Representation matters. I know you know that, Mel. I know your listeners know that. There has never been a Black judge on Las Vegas Municipal Court, and I'm hoping to be first.
Wow, that says a lot. So I have two nieces. They are teenage girls, wonderful, wonderful young women, just kind of starting out in life, just kind of figuring out who they are, what their path is going to be. You have done some remarkable things. You're a great role model. What bit of advice would you give those two young ladies?
That's great. I will tell them, first of all, they're enough. They are enough. I like to always say that whatever room I walk into, I belong there. I belong wherever.
Yes.
And they do as well, because people will try to, whether it's in overt or covert ways, try to tell you that there's a lane that you need to stay in. based on either your gender or your race. And that's not acceptable. And I would tell them just to simply follow their passion. It's the advice my parents gave me. And they always said, follow your passion, success will come. So whatever they are passionate in, they will be great at and they will be successful at. Those, I think, are the things that I would certainly say. And it's what I say to my niece. It's what I say to my great niece, who is 11 years old, going on 16. Boy, they grow up fast these days.
They grow up very, they grow up very fast.
They grow up very fast.
Yes, so I will pass that information on to my teenage nieces. I think that is absolutely great information. So tell me this, there are a number of people who are running for the same seat that you are running for. I'd like to leave our listening audience with this message. Why should they vote for you?
So I'll give you a couple. The first reason is because I think I can distinguish myself from the other candidates based on the experience that I have. I've been an attorney for almost 2 decades, but I've also had a variety of experiences. So I've worked for a court-appointed special advocates program. I'm a trained mediator. I've worked as a public defender, as an administrator, as a social worker, as a child advocate. All of those things have all been interfacing with those who need the most in our community. And that kind of experience, I think, brings with it a different perspective of understanding the different challenges that our community members face. And I'm cognizant of that when somebody comes before me. So just one little example. Right now, people do not get an individualized determination of their ability to pay a fine when they go to municipal court. That is not only unconstitutional, but it doesn't take into account the realities of everyday life. I am not out of touch with people who live paycheck to paycheck. I am not out of touch with understanding that somebody who makes $30,000 should not have the same fine as somebody who makes $200,000. I think the second thing that distinguishes me is the fact that I am a person of color. I'm a woman of color. Right now, at least, the other candidates that I have been advised of are not women of color. And as I mentioned, there has never been a Black judge on Las Vegas Municipal Court. Representation matters. I cannot tell you how many times, in particular as a public defender, that someone would walk into my office and immediately, a particular person of color, immediately sort of let out a sigh.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You are going to understand. You'll get it.
Yes.
I can tell you the truth.
Yes.
I can be real and honest with you. That is no different than somebody who comes before you when you're a judge, because what you're trying to do is give them the tools they need to succeed. So if they don't feel comfortable sharing their life experience with me, I can't ever get to the point where I can determine and help with them determine what it is that they need. So I think that is extremely important. And I think the third reason that people should vote for me versus anyone else on the bench is because of my passion. I am only running for Las Vegas Municipal Court. I am not the type of person that's going to run for Las Vegas Municipal Court. And if, goodness forbid, I don't win next year, you're going to see me. I'm running for Justice Court, or now I'm running for Henderson Court, because I just want to be a judge. I just want the power. I just want the ability to say that I'm a judge and have the title. I am specifically running for Las Vegas Municipal Court because it should be a community court. And that is the court that I think has the greatest impact on the community. And that's why I'm running for that court. I will not be running for any other court. This is the only court that I'm interested in.
Rae, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tiller. Thank you to your listeners. Please reach out. Even if you just have a question, I would love to hear from people. I also want to know what it is that are pressing issues for you in the community so that I can address those for you. Thank you so much.
Her name is Rae Canady, and she wants to be the Las Vegas Municipal Court Judge representing Department 5. You've been listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. What they see is what they'll be. I'm Mel Tiller, your host, and until next time, keep it 100.